Hi, I'm Mr. America Shah is in here with another episode of Dark Theory USA. I'm here to talk about the news in last week. Today is 10th March of 2025 and many things happened, but I think more are to come. More news are to come. Like it's gonna be even worse than that actually. It depends on what's your perspective and how you look at it. So probably I will have another episode very soon for the follow up of continuous of this news that I'm talking about, because I think they are kind of like a warm up and then eventually it's gonna get even more heated and worse or better for good. So they seem like unrelated, but I think in the end of the day, in like end of the month actually, they're gonna merge and all of them they're gonna aim to the same endpoint, same conclusion. Well, one of the news is I think was a green card holder, student of Columbia University, Mahmoud Khalili, something like that. He was organizing protesting for pro-Palestine, and not only I think a student visa. I mean, if you are in green card, you cannot have a student visa. People were saying like he was on a student visa and also he was green card holder. If you're a green card holder, you don't need a student visa. You are already here legally. But somehow, anyhow, he's arrested and nobody knows where he is. And even White House website, like web pages, at least I saw that on X, says Shalom Mahmoud or something, blah, blah, blah. If you are pro terrorism, pro Hamas, blah, we're going to take you and then take you back. Plus, there are so many issues in here. As a Republican conservative, I'm saying is first of all, let's say Democrats did that about like white supremacy, Black Lives Matter, and stuff. Like people would say, where is the freedom of speech? Now we are saying freedom of speech is gone. Like they are throwing the label, oh, you are pro terrorism, pro Hamas, just because you don't want your country funds another country to bomb the children. Then you are pro terrorist. This is literally like BS. Like I'm calling out like Republicans. I am Republicans, but the party's establishment just show that they are no better than Democrats. The reason that that was a red wave for the for the Republicans in 2024 election was because we were tired of this censorship, all those stuff, those forceful agendas. But now we are seeing we have exactly the same thing on the another side. So this is not freedom of speech. Let's just put it in different perspective. Let's say that was those people who were fighting for the right of, like, let's say white people, not white supremacy, just say, hey, white people are persecuted unfairly, we have to defend them. And then let's say they got they got the student visa was revoked and they got kicked out of the country. And worse than all of this is that it's his green card holder, that Mahmoud Khalil is a green card, is a permanent resident. So it's not just a student visa. And let's say they say, well, you have green card holder, but we don't care. You are like pro Trump or like pro this or pro that. We're gonna not only kick you out of the university, but the country. Definitely, all the Republicans would kill themselves to say, "Oh my God, stakes are so high. What's going on to the country? It used to be free nation, First Amendment. What about First Amendment? It is first one for the reason, blah blah blah, always giving lecture about the freedom of speech. But right now the same thing is happening in the other direction. Now they're saying like, not only they're bragging about that, they are saying shalom. First of all, isn't it like Trump a few weeks ago put the English as a main language, national language of United States? Then why are you saying shalom? Like, if your English is the language, so you have to practice it. So in one hand you put the English as a national language for United States, but in other hand you say shalom. It's just it's so irony, it's hypocrisy. And other thing is the same thing if happened, Democrat did that to one Republicans, everyone would lose their mind. Only if they was kicked out from the university, let alone being deported from United States, even though he's a permanent resident. And so now we are saying like United States is basically right now, especially Republicans, they are destroying all of their value that they were bragging about, that was their slogan they were chanting, all for only for one foreign nation, and which is very wrong, and it's gonna backfire for sure, because now Republicans are giving all the reason for for Democrats to have the momentum to go back up, because what they are doing is even kind of worse than what Democrats did to the Republicans. So it's about just whoever has the power. It's not about American value or anything, because they are saying pro-terrorism. What is pro-terrorism? Criticizing Israel is pro-terrorism. It's saying that my tuition fee I don't want to be spent on the lab in Israel is a pro-terrorism. So basically, criticizing Israel is a pro-terrorism. They didn't give any evidence or any reason to say that it was promoting violence against Jewish people. Like, I didn't see in any. They just say they were just bragging about talking Hebrew, Shalom, instead of talking English. I thought they put English as a first language, and now they are. Besides that, they are saying, well, it is terrorism. Like, I totally understand if the Jewish students are under attack for being a Jew. Like, bro, come on, of course. But I'm saying, like, I didn't see any evidence to show that whatsoever was promoting violence against Jews, which is very condemned. Like, any human, regardless of your Jew, non-Jew, anything, you shouldn't be attacked. It's a free country for a reason. But the thing, like, now he's out, and only because he was protected. Again, I haven't seen any case. If somebody shows that, like, he was promoting people go hurt Jews, yeah, that's something. But criticizing anything is not, it is protected by First Amendment, and that's a one very wrong move, and it's going to backfire on Republicans for their hypocrisy, talking about freedom of speech, and now they are taking out. And the another thing is, right now, again, in one day, I guess I saw that Candace Owens went to Theo One's podcast, and Ian Carroll went to the Joe Rogan's podcast. All happened not only in the same day, but in the same hour. I don't know if they were talking to each other to release the episode at the same time together. But it happened, and also Andrew Tate went to the podcast with PBD, and then after that, I forgot, with the twins, hot twins, something like that. All happened, and they were criticizing Israel, all of them. And now everyone is losing their mind. Oh, it is very dark day for the America. Look at them, like mainstream media, like they are getting platform. Those people, anti-Semite people, they are getting promoted for advocating. They are just freedom. They're just practicing their freedom of speech, and they're just talking. They're just talking and giving their opinion about, like, there are some evidence show that the history wasn't the way that they were saying. That's it. Nothing against anybody, um, but just criticizing just this narrative, and that is protected by First Amendment. So now, and now everyone is going to say, well, what about Qatar? This whataboutism is, bro, is just too much. It's over. It's too. I cannot say it, but it's something. It's too much. Um, that what about this then? What about Qatar? Bro, first of all, Qatar is not bombing Palestine. Right? But Qatar is not bombing any country. So forget about that. We are talking about a country that is bombing children. That is what we are talking about. Qatar is not bombing anybody. Right? So don't do whataboutism about a country that is not in conflict and in conflict with any other region. Plus, we are not funding Qatar. You know, right? So don't try to compare yourself with any other country, because you're not. Like, you could look at all these congressmen and congresswomen. They don't have even U.S. flag in their office. They have Israel's flag. It's something wrong, bro. Like, we don't see any Qatari's flag over there. I mean, come on. And then all of the stuff that we are seeing, like, people are talking, and now we are saying, oh, I thought United States was free country. But so the Democrats, the way they were censoring people who were against them, I realized that it's not that free. I thought when Trump comes, okay, it's going to be free again. But now we are saying, no, it's not free either. Now you can say stuff that in Biden's time you couldn't say, but now you cannot say stuff that in Biden times you could say. So that's one of the news. Like, I think it should be looked at, and it made a big news. Like, everyone was talking about. like all these people, they were talking about the same topic in different podcasts at the same time, same date, and same hour when it was released. And then the another thing is another news is uh, they have the training, army military training between there is military training between Iran, Russia, and China. And then they asked Trump if he's afraid. He said no, because we are stronger than them combined together. And a few days ago, Trump said he sent a letter to Supreme Leader of Iran, and he said, "I prefer to have the deal, but if you don't have deal, we're gonna have a strike on nuclear facility." And he said the letter. The last person who sent the letter was Obama in 2008, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. So he sent a letter to say like he's serious, but the supreme leader in 24 hours after that he had the one lecture. He was talking because he doesn't hold interview with anybody, but just he was talking in one of the like 24 hours later, and he didn't say directly, but basically he implied that like we're not going to have negotiation if there is a bully in here. Like the way that Trump was talking, I could see like it's kind of like a he was bullying like I want to have the deal, but if you don't want, I'm gonna destroy your facility. And he said the deal that I'm gonna make peacefully is gonna be even as good as if I attack them militarily. So it means it doesn't matter. Like think about that. If talking or fighting gonna end up with the same result, then why not choose fighting? You know what I'm saying? So that's called bullying. Like you can lose everything peacefully, or you can lose everything fighting for it. So of course they're gonna use the fighting. It's literally bully. Like that's correct term. Like either you say, because he mentioned that he said that, like the deal that we're gonna make peacefully is just as good as if we attack them. So it means I'm gonna destroy everything. Um, then he said we are not going to have negotiation. And it got even worse because now since the Trump voted against acknowledging Russia as an aggressor and as a criminal, because that was a voting in UN, and United States vetoed, not vetoed, but voted negative to recognizing Russia as a criminal, blah blah blah. So that was, like they're getting closer to each other to make a deal. So Russia in return said, let me talk with Iran supreme leader so maybe I can talk with it. It wasn't America asking Russia to do that, but just middling, like Russia said by itself, like I am close to Iran, maybe I can talk to them to have a deal with you. And for the first time, Iran rejected Russia's request. Like till now, every time that China or Russia said anything, Iran would accept that. This was the first time that Iran didn't accept the Putin's request to have the deal. Well, the fact is, Supreme Leader of Iran doesn't have so many cards to play with. Like he can play tough all day long. What the fact is, he has lost all his proxies, and he's dealing with the huge inflation, um, and also uh, economically it's super bad and people are very unhappy. So Iran is not in a stable position to dictate its own term. So I mean, Trump is a businessman, so he knows that what to say, when to say, how to say, and it happened. And now I think because he knows that he has all the cards, so he's gonna get what he wants. And Tucker Carlson put one tweet, and it went out. It's one of those like anti-Semitism that they were talking about, the Candace Owens and Ian Carroll, Joe Rogan, Tier One. Also, that was they included the tweet of Tucker Carlson was saying like Fox News and all these warmongers establishments, they are trying to convince us, tell us they're going to war with Iran, which is doesn't benefit American people, because Tucker is very patriot and he cares about veterans, he cares about America and American people. He said we have so many problems in here with the fentanyl, drug dealers, illegal immigrants, all those inflation, and we cannot afford any other wars, and it doesn't benefit anybody. So he was rejecting actually going to war with Iran, and that's a unique perspective because many of people, because they have tied with Israel in Republican Party, so they were advocating for that because it benefits Israel, of course. And he was saying like they are selling us to another war in Middle East, and we should reject that. And so this is another thing. So we are like, and Tucker is very famous and he's very popular. It's not, oh okay, who cares? It's not the case. He is very he has a fan base, big fan base. Millions of people are looking up to him. And nobody wants a war anymore. And actually, we voted for Trump for the peace. He was president of the peace. Actually, his slogan was, I will bring peace. And right now, we are not seeing so much. At least the signs are showing. Maybe he's playing poker. Maybe he's playing 5D chess stuff. But so far, I haven't seen any sign. We are really going toward a war with Iran, which doesn't benefit American people, in my opinion. I agree with Tucker. And another news is while United States and Canada they were fighting each other with a 25% tariff, China, like surprisingly, instead of attacking back America, because uh, United States put the 10% tariff on China as well, instead of putting back like retaliate against United States, they put 100% tariff on the Canada. Like United States was fighting with Canada and China, and all of a sudden, China, instead of fighting back, America fought Canada, which Canada had nothing to do with it. So put 100%. So definitely, I think the chance that Canada gonna become our 51st state, 51st state uh, in United States, I think it's very high. The chance is very high. It's about to collapse because like 20, almost 30% of the GDP of Canada is by exporting to United States. If you put 25% tariff, it's over. But they say, okay, so we retaliate. When was the last time you bought something from Canada? When was the last time um, you like you got hurt by not be able to work with Canada? Like, come on. It's not. It's almost 1% of our GDP goes to export to Canada, but 30% of theirs is coming to us. And just 20 hours ago, no, 48 hours ago, Prime Minister Trudeau resigned, and one other candidate who is from the same party came to the power, which is the same thing, just different name, different person, but just same policy. Came to the power for instead of Justin Trudeau, and I think soon there's going to be election. So, but the policy wise, it's going to be the same. Nothing going to change, and I think there's a high chance that it's going to collapse. Like economically, Canada going to collapse, and they're going to accept to be of 51st state. On the other hand, for them with the Mexico, they are saying, I saw the news. I don't know how much of it is true or not, but I saw that um, basically um, United States paused against those 25% tariffs on Mexico, but not on Canada. I don't know, maybe they made a deal with China. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be nice to you in Pacific if you do the favor to me, and then you attack back Canada. So we both from America side, you from China side, we put the tariff on them, so they would fold, and I can have them as a 51st state. Maybe that was a deal behind the doors, behind the closed door between China and United States, that China decided to backstab Canada actually for no reason. At least I didn't see any reason for that. But on the other hand, Mexico, he put a pause on the tariff for the Mexico and Mexican people. They were celebrating. They were so happy about that. Um, and they are saying the reason they did that because the stock market really crashed. Um, I guess today stock market in United States had the worst performance in last 3 years. If I'm not, I read it in news. Like everything was going down, down. Like all those stocks, like all the I don't know, like Nasdaq maybe S&P 500, something like that. These 100, 500 top companies in United States. it was all going down, and all those top companies, I don't know, like Amazon, I saw that Amazon, Apple, Tesla, even Microsoft, they were all getting 5%, 10%, 4% down. They were going for 5, 4, 10% down, and it was very rough, I guess, based on what I saw that on the news. And I guess that was a crypto summit or something like that a few hours ago, and everyone thought that it's gonna go up, but apparently when I saw that, it went back down to what it was a few months ago. Like, so everyone was looking for the something like a bullish run or something, but it was none of that. Like, so if crypto went down, I don't know what's the relation between crypto and the stock market in United States, that they all go work together mostly, and it didn't work out. Nothing went well, and this is what it is. Uh, and yeah, it went down super bad. I heard that the reason that they stopped the tariff with the Mexico was because of that, but I don't know. Like, are cartels biggest shareholders of top companies in United States or crypto holders? I don't know what tariff on Mexico would have anything to do with crypto and with the stock market in United States. But anyway, they paused it for Mexico, not for Canada, and China put 100% tariff on Canada. Economically, like the stock market stuff, crypto apparently is crashing. Some people is crashing. Some people say no, it is just a correction. Whatever it is, but it was bad. When I saw that in the last 3 years, like, because in last 3 years we had COVID, we had war, Russia-Ukraine war, we had Afghanistan withdrawal, we had so many bad news, but still today was the worst day compared to all of those days. So that's it. And then I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but there is a high chance that since well, not high chance, almost I'm sure, since Iran said you are bullying us, we are not going to go to any negotiation with you, those terms won't be accepted, because as Trump said that in his interview with the Fox Business channel, that even if they make a deal, it's going to be just as good as we attack them. Or if you reverse it, it's going to be as bad as they get attacked by America for Iran. So either way, it's going to be loss for them. And then even Putin, that most of the time was coming, even the nuclear deal they had with the Obama, Putin had a very big role on that to talk with Iran, like play with negotiate. But even they said to Putin, no, we are not going to talk to you. And then one thing which is crazy is like Pezeshkian, the president of Iran, he said that in the council, in the Congress in Iran, said, "Oh, I came in here with the slogan of talking to the world, like specifically with United States, but Supreme Leader said no, no negotiation, no deal. So I changed my mind. Done. It's over." I feel bad for people in Iran, so whoever voted for him, because he said when I come, I'm gonna make a deal with America, and now he said deal is off the table because Supreme Leader said so. We don't know what's gonna happen, but there's a high chance that, well, because as a few days before the Russia, China, Iran started to have the training together, Israel and United States, they had the Air Force joint training, joint practicing together, and they are saying, experts are saying, this is exactly for practicing for coming to the Iran's border and attack their nuclear facility. Now we have to see what happens. Uh, but the chance that we go to the war is very high. With Iran, I don't know if it's gonna, because in the war is not based on some calculation, it's based on miscalculation. So you think, oh, I'm gonna just attack here, it's gonna be okay. They said it's I'm gonna attack here, it's gonna be okay, and those miscalculation gonna end up you go to the full war. Um, so anything can happen. Like, it's not like Russia, Ukraine. Also, people were saying, oh, it's gonna be just 1 week war, 2 weeks war, and it's gonna either be peace or Russia gonna advance to the Kiev, uh, and topple the regime of Zelensky. But 3 years later, and still they are fighting. So we don't know what's gonna happen, but definitely big news are on the way. and we have to see um, basically if we if everything goes worse or not. But what we saw in the stock market and crypto, that's a sign of war. That's a sign of we are going to the war. And based on what I have seen, they said every time that they're going to go to war, you can see the result a few months before. So now we're gonna see like what's gonna happen. People from both from Iran and America, they have different opinion, mixed opinion. Like in America, some people they say we have to go fight. Some people like Tucker Carlson, they said no, it is not our war. In Iran, some people they say there should be a war, so we see what happens. So we end this conflict, we end this hostility. Like they say bitter ending is better than endless bitter. Like it's better to fight each other and know what happened in the end and finish it and get over it and move on, rather than endless forever stay in the same position forever and no advancement. Like one time finish it forever. uh, this is what also people in Iran, some people want war, some people want peace, some people want negotiation, some people want to just move completely and only deal with Russian and Chinese. It's definitely interesting time. It's not good time, in my opinion. Any innocent lives get killed from either side. If it is Israel, if it is Palestine, if it is people in Iran, if it is people in United States, innocent civilians are dying, and that's the worst thing can happen to the human kind. And the worst part is we are so selfish that if it benefits our narrative, if it benefits our beliefs, we are okay with that. But as a Muslim, I believe like you have to put yourself in the shoes. If the same thing happened to you, would you be happy? No. Then you shouldn't be happy for others it happened. There's justification that you are bringing to justify your action. If the same thing happened to you and they said the same thing to you, would you accept their justification? Like they say, war always history is written by victor. So we just say that, oh, we saw, we conquered, we left, whatever. But if you get conquered, you're gonna have different perspective. It's not gonna be glorious and shining and very proudful as when you are conquered. So yeah, I hope peace for the world and stability, not only in Middle East but also in my country, United States. Um, I thought by now everything would chill down and everyone would go back to their life and everyone would focus on just advancing, operating their life. But the stock market is going down. War in Middle East is intensified, and also the economic war with the China, Canada. It's just getting messy, and we gotta see. We gotta see. I'm gonna give the Trump. I voted for him. Benefit of that. I'm hoping like it's all part of his plan. So eventually he would wrap it up like in a movie, like in a was a movie Inception, that there were seven layers of sleeping, and in the end, all they concluded in the same time, uh, get to the same point together and merge together and had a happy ending. So I'm hoping all these different conflicts in different fields in different part of the world they all get together and get solved at the same time. I mean, it's so dramatic, it's so cinematic, but why not? Life is art, and I'm an artist. Speaking of the art, my two books, Smokers and Restricted Area. Smokers is chapter one down, Restricted Area chapter two, Sunrise. I spent 2 years for that, 2,500 hours. They both are available on Amazon, on Kindle, for those people who don't want to have the book only read on their phone, and the Kindle, on the paperback, and the hardcover. And all the profits from my book sales will be donated to American children who are diagnosed with cancer. And your support would really help me to accomplish my dream, which is helping children with cancer and orphanages and orphans who really don't have hope. I really, America gave me second hope, so I really hope I can one day give the hope back to the people, to the children. And thank you for listening. And if you like it, you can subscribe. And we can. I regularly talk about the political stuff because I'm immigrant. I have unique perspective. So maybe my point of view would be interesting to you. And like, comment, anything, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time, and hope to see you next time. Bye. And like always, as above, so below.